Hello, BookTube. Well, as you heard, the doorbell rang, and I got an extra shipment of mail. So we're going to go through these now. The one thing I'm noticing here is that these are all very skinny, and that is usually bad. Steve likes big fat books. So let's see if these things can please, even though they're tiny. So most things can't. Okay, first one, fantastic. All right, we are off to a fine start. And this is yet another example of what I talk about on this channel all the time. In fact, I've talked about it today, which is that when it comes to older books, classics of all kinds, I can pretty much wait for the mail. I don't have to go out looking for them. This is a perfect example of that. This is by a new translation by Michael Nyland of The Art of War. That's chainmail on the cover. Isn't that lovely? From Norton. It's going to be a cute little thing. For the first time in any modern language, a female scholar and translator has reimagined the art of war. Sun Tzu's ancient book of strategy and psychology has as much to tell us today as when it was first written 2,500 years ago. In a world forever at odds, Sun Tzu's rules for anticipating the motivations and strategies of our competitors have never ceased to inspire leaders of all kinds. And Michael Nyland, it turns out, is a woman, and she is a professor of early Chinese history at the University of California at Berkeley. She's done a bunch of other translation, and this is her translation of The Art of War. And this comes out, in January of 2020. Wow, okay, so this is next year. Fantastic. Okay, great. Lovely little edition of The Art of War. All right, so that was a small book that did pay off. Let's hope all the others do too. I'm dismayed by the fact that there are no boxes here. There are no hugely overstuffed envelopes. That's a little disturbing. Okay. All right. This is another example. We've seen this a couple of times now. This is a double or even maybe a triple. But this is another example of what I'm talking about. This is Darkness at Noon by Arthur Koestler. And this is a new edition including all sorts of variations and textual apparatus that have never appeared before. So there you go. That's two things that you would otherwise, I would in the past have gone to a used bookstore for both of these. But they are part of the new book world that I am a part of, so I get them. There's no chance we can go 3 for 3 here. Let's do this next. This next one is also small. Okay, this is from the wonderful folks at Princeton University Press. This comes out in late October, and it is by John MacDonald, Charles Branas, and Robert Stokes, and it is Changing Places, the Science and Art of New Urban Planning. The design of every aspect of urban landscape, from streets and sidewalks to green spaces, mass transit, and housing, fundamentally influences the health and safety of the communities where we live. It can affect people's stress levels and determine whether they walk or drive, the quality of the air they breathe, and how free they are from crime. And this book provides a compelling look at the new science and art of urban planning. Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. I'm seeing it every day. There's a massive subway station, a subway hub, right up the street from where I live. And I've watched it every step of the way that it has been remodeled along new lines, along new thinking. And I'm just amazed at what a good job has been done. It has been totally improved. And that is rare in civic architecture. So that's great. I won't touch this until later in the fall, but we're not doing so bad for thin books, even though I'm not getting any of the chunkers that I love so much. So let's see what this next one. Oh my God, the next one's a mass market. Oh, but it's a mass market romance. Okay, all right. This comes out at the end of July. This is by the great Maisie Yates. We just had one from her. This is another one. This is a Gold Valley novel called Lone Wolf Cowboy. As a former EMT and wildland firefighter, there's no one Jacob Dalton can't save except himself. Since his best friend's tragic death, Jacob has isolated himself until Vanessa Logan returns to Gold Valley. He saved her life during a medical call years ago, and he's never forgotten her. The instant jolt of heat between them takes him by surprise, but he knows that giving in would only lead to disaster. Thinking it might also lead to marriage. Wow, okay, all right, so I'm eating crow. This is turning out to be a fine mail. All right, so this is July 30th, but I'm not going to wait. I'm going to read it right away because it's Maisie Yates, and she's fantastic. She has 2 books out at the exact same time. That's ambitious even for a romance author. Then we have this last one. Oh, no, okay, oh my. Okay, I haven't got to this yet, but this is also right on the docket. I've got to do this right away. I read it. I blasted through the advanced copy that I have, but I really want to sit down with it. I really want to study it because I intend to review it, and I want to do it justice. We've seen it on this channel before. This is It Came From Something Awful by Dale Barron. The subtitle being How a Toxic Troll Army Accidentally Memed Donald Trump into Office. And thankfully, the book has a lot more nuance than that. The internet has transformed the way we think and act, and by consequence, our politics. The most impactful recent political movements on both the far left and right started with massive online collectives of teenagers. Strangely, both movements began on the same website, an anime image board called 4chan. 4chan is a microcosm of the internet itself, simultaneously at the vanguard of contemporary culture, politics, comedy, and language, and a new low for all of the above. And I thought, I was reading this will tell me a bit about Dale. Dale Barron is a writer and artist whose work has been published in McSweeney's, Quartz, Huffington Post, Daily Dot, The Nib, Baltimore City Paper, and he lives in Baltimore. And I read this and had a lot to argue with it, and I liked parts of it, I didn't like parts of it, so this is great. This is an occasion where a reread really is in order, where I really need to do it. The read-through that I did the first time was really just, is this dumb? Or is this person bringing some serious thinking to this subject? Because on the subject of Donald Trump, memes, and 4chan, I could easily envision a totally dumb book getting a contract with a publisher. I could easily imagine that happening. And that was what my main read-through was the first time, and it isn't dumb. So now I need to sit down and give this the effort that it deserves. The author deserves it, and the subject deserves it. So there you go. That's not long, isn't it? That's what you get when you give me short books. So that was a fairly good, thin mail haul. So we have It Came From Something Awful, now in hardcover. We have Changing Places, about new urban architecture. We have Darkness at Noon by Arthur Koestler in a new edition. We have The Art of War by Sun Tzu in a new translation in January. Maybe the first major commercial translation by a woman. That'd be fascinating, wouldn't it? And Lone Wolf Cowboy by Maisie Yates, who I just love. I think I just got a book of hers the other day. I would take a book a week from Maisie Yates, absolutely. So there you go. That was a late in the day mail haul before the rain starts, but there's some enjoyable stuff in here, and the 4chan book goes right to the head of the list, so that's good. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this up for now, but I'll be back. Thank you, BookTube.